Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the webinar with Rocio Flores from Gocta Natura Reserve near Chachapoyas in northern Peru. As I just mentioned, Gocta is a brand new partner for us, and so we're really excited to be working with them. I was at the lodge only last month and got to experience it for myself, and Rocio was there to welcome myself and Mazza from Lashwell Life. We had a great time. And today, Rocio is going to be taking us through kind of the aspects of the lodge, obviously product wise, but also why you would visit Chachapoyas as an alternative, well, not as an alternative, but as an add-on to any Peruvian itinerary. And then, of course, there'll be time for questions, but if you do want to ask any questions, then please do add them in the chat box. But yeah, great. Thanks for attending, and over to you, Rocio.
Oh, can you listen to me?
I can hear you well.
Okay, good. Uh, Hello, everyone. My name is Rocio Flores, as Nicolas said. I've discovered this place, even though I was born in Lima, Peru. I discovered this place 15 years ago. And since then, in time I moved, and in time I became the owner of Gocta Natura Reserve, which is a reserve. It's about 90 hectares of the land, the property. Part of it is, all of it is in being restored, and we do a lot of reforestation. But in time also, we started receiving people, tourists from abroad, and now we're totally committed to this new job that I found for myself in this land. So do I go ahead and start, Nicola?
Yes, please do. We can see that first screen, so feel free
Okay,
to go through your
okay.
presentation.
So this is the land of the Chachapoya, which is a culture that became a very important culture in the north of Peru. Is pre-Inca. It started in 500 or 600 after Christ. And so I'm going to start the presentation with the highlights of this destination. As you can see in the first picture, this is the landscape that you're going to find and admire when you come here. Are the newest and youngest mountains of the Andes. And it's you can see the Utcubamba River, and this culture flourished on both sides of this river, of the valley, a valley of canyons and clouds. And so you can see here its location in the map of Peru, northeastern slope of the Andes into the Amazonian basin. And this is what I was telling you about the river, the Utcubamba River, and you have we are right here, and the capital is here, where you land when it comes. We have 7 flights in a 70 passenger plane, 7 flights a week. The altitude here is between 1,800 and 3,000, being 3,000 when you go to visit one of the sites that are in the top of a mountain, but most of it is cloud forest, and it is 1,800 or 1,500 in altitude. And so a main attraction is the historical and archaeological part of it. This is Cuelap. It's the heart of the Chachapoya culture. It's you get here. It's in the top of a mountain. You get here by cable car, a very high tech, and it's been built 6 years ago, opened up 6 years ago. So you get to this fortress or citadel, um, uh, where you can find the roundhouses and towers, and it's the heart of the culture. So It is really astonishing in beauty because you can oversee the rest of the valley from up there. So this is a tower, the main temple in the Quelap fortress on top. And this culture is well known for their citadels, sarcophagi, and mausoleums. So this is the most common, mostly known, better known sarcophagi. All of them are on a cliff facing the sunrise. And it's supposed to be the burials from officials or well-known people, some of them with a trophy on their heads because they were probably from the army. And this is a must visit. The mausoleums as well. This is an excursion that is hard. It takes like 3 days on horse to get here, but we have a very well-known museum as well. The mummies were found here, and now they are. You can see them in the museum in Leimebamba as well. Citadels that are used either for living or for keeping the foods, the agricultural produce from harvested in the lands below. This is Yalape, one of the visits. And then the other main attraction is nature, adventure, and biodiversity. So what you're seeing here is Gocta, is the best known waterfall, but it's one of many in the Valley of the Waterfalls. And you can see the forest, the cloud forest surrounding it. And our place, Gocta Natura, is facing this waterfall. So this is a land for just trekking hard, or you can choose the right one for you, and these are the landscapes that you're going to encounter when you come this place, land of the clouds, warriors of the clouds. That's the Chachapoya meaning. And we have it is a bird watchers destination. We have several types of birds, but probably the most sought endemic from this area is the spatula tail hummingbird that you can see on the right-hand side. And we here in Gocta Natura, also in our forests, we have about 140 identified species that can be observed by the bird watchers that come. The other wonder is it is a natural botanic garden where you can see these bromeliads and the orchids. And these pictures are from our reserve, but you can find them along your trails when you go to different sites. So here we are. This is Gocta Natura Reserve, the main buildings, the social buildings, where you have the dining and the living rooms and spaces to sit. It faces the waterfall that you saw. And we have this gate is the entrance to the forest. That's an inner forest to the property. And we are an organization. We're a B Corp. We are certified B Corp. We are totally committed to the environment and to the community. We've been working with the community since we got here. In fact, that was the first thing that we did. I did when I came here and started coming all the time and then living here, working with the community on different projects with women and children specifically. And in the meantime, learning about the environment and the forest and the endemic species, which is now the heart of our operation. We have 6 cabins. These are some of them that you can see. All of them are private. They have their own decks so that people can come and spend time at the end of the day without leaving their own cabins, surrounded by our young forest that we have reforested in 15 years. And you can see we have like the one in the middle is the largest one, is for 4 people, grown-ups or a family with teenagers. The others are the one on the left-hand side is for 2, and then the rest are normally for 2 people, but they can host 3 adults. Here you can see the others cabins facing the waterfall with their own decks, and it's like an apartment, like a little house, as they say. Our capacity, full capacity, is 18 people, 16 to 18 people. We are totally prepared for that type of service, which is in our case very personal. You can see in the main picture here that we have the amenities. So they have brewed coffee and tea and bakery and fruits. Every day we change them. These are other pictures of the same that you can see from the inside. And well, we have the normal, each cabin has, of course, high quality sheets and additional blankets and pillows, hair dryer and stuff. But they also have yoga mats and trekking poles and umbrellas. It rains part of the year, and so they're well equipped. And this is a map where you can see the. Sorry.
Is there a question from someone?
Can I? Oh, okay.
Oh no, I think that was just some extra noise. Sorry, you carry on, Rocio.
Okay, so this map, I have it here so that you can tell the privacy of the each cabin. We have a small swimming pool that you can see here, the garden, the vegetable garden that is also our heart is in the middle of it. And this is the social area. And then you can see that these roofs here are the cabins that you can, there are round paths that unite them, and but they're private, separate from each other, to give it mainly a personal privacy. We have the culinary aspect of it is very important for us. We have this dining that it's outdoor dining for a group of people. It has its own kitchen where we bake our bread, sourdough bread. We do preserves and pickled, so we keep up with the vegetable garden. And in this, so here you can see the vegetable garden also. We do presentations in the vegetable garden, and we also do special dinners or lunch for 2, for a couple, or maybe up to 4 or 6 at the most. This is the outdoor table. It sits 12 to 14 people. Or we do lunches here, especially after the trek to the trail to the waterfall. That can be it's.
We did have some slight issues with Wi-Fi before he logged on. Hopefully we'll get Rocio back in just a moment. But I think I can probably tell you a little bit about their garden. Basically, they can do any kind of fresh meals or catering. She's gone. From their from the hotel, so they can do it in different areas of the. Let me see if I can share my presentation. Oh, it seems to have frozen. Right. Well, can you still hear me, Simon? Can you confirm that you can still hear
We
me?
can hear you, and we're on the presentations on the map slide.
Yeah. I can't seem to move it off it. My mouse has just stopped working. Classic, isn't it? Okay, well, I'll tell you a little bit about the food in any case. Basically, it's one of the highlights of staying at Gocta, and it's because as you saw, a lot of the food comes from their kitchen garden. Her son is actually a head chef in a fine dining restaurant in Sydney, Australia, and he trained under the chef from Central in Lima. Now, you guys probably know better than I do what that guy's name is. I've completely forgotten. But it just goes to show that he's very, very highly trained, and he still consults about the cuisine at Gocta. And so he comes in as, in inverted commas, their head chef. And everything is presented in a really beautiful way. You're basically presented with dishes in the middle of the table, and it's kind of a sharing thing, and you always have fresh salads and beautiful meals. And then when you're out on excursions, the packed lunches are always in tins with, freshly made sandwiches or salads. So a lot of care goes into the cuisine there. Let me see if I can get my mouse back. Something happened here. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it's moving on now, Nick.
Got a slightly different presentation to the one that we were looking at. So this is, part of the other attractions within the reserve. So basically, Rocio and her team, she's quite humble, but they replanted that whole area. They reforested that whole area. She said it took 15 years, and she took us on the trails around her reserve because it's where she goes to walk her dogs every day. And she was talking to us about how she wanted to have different areas within that forest to just going to check if she's coming in or not, to create kind of contemplative areas for people, which is really lovely. And they've got trails that go all the way down to the river, and that is the same river that comes off the Gocta Falls. And so, yeah, she's great at creating these really nice, special experiences. And so this is where a lot of their produce come from. So even if they don't grow their own produce, they get it all locally. They're just outside the village of Cocachimba. So if you looked on a map, they're about an hour outside of Chachapoyas, and you drive a bit further north, and then you get to a village called Cocachimba, and there you've got a beautiful little village and a square and a few lodges, and that's where you also find Gocta Lodge, which you may or may not be aware of. That's kind of an option for groups and families, and you go past that and down the hill towards Gocta Natura Reserve. So that's where she gets most of her other produce from, when it doesn't come from her own garden. So they can, arrange very special nights. They can arrange cooking classes as well. And as she mentioned, the Totomono area, which is this. I think that's actually the end of the presentation I've got. But what I wanted to show you as well was the experiences. So while Gocta Natura Reserve offer bed and breakfast rates, they actually can organise all the different experiences for guests whilst they're staying there. They have really great relationships with the local guides, two of whom we had whilst we were there, and they were incredibly knowledgeable, very personable, very friendly, excellent English. Well, one was German, so that helps. But he has been living in the area. A guy called Peter Larsch, who's actually quite well known in the area because he has delved into the archaeology and the anthropology of this area over the last 30 years. He used to live at a farm with no electricity or running water, and then, very surprisingly, became mayor of Chachapoyas for a while, so went from one extreme to the other. But his real heart and soul is in this area. Very interesting. And he works well with the other guide called John, who is local, and he, again, he's very good at bird life, plant life, archaeology. He also has his own little bar in Cocachimba where he distills different liquors with different like fruits and herbs from the region, which is really lovely. And so yes, they can organise itineraries of 3-day, 4-night or similar. And these will
Hello?
she's
Rocio's
back.
back.
I'm back. I'm
Okay.
sorry. It's nerve-wracking. Murphy's Law, terrible. So we have become a culinary destination, and mainly because we start in the vegetable garden, which is like the beginning and the end for us. And all our creativity comes out of there, and also the suppliers, the farmers, and different people that provide us with additional produce. So we have this menu that is, I would say, 70% plant-based, very original, and very attractive to our guests, because they write about this all the time. So what we try to do with this service is try to do additional stuff. Like, for instance, in the pictures that you're seeing now, it's a trail that we have in our inner forest that goes to the river. So we can do these special picnics by the river, where there are natural ponds so people can bathe. Or within the garden, a special occasion, we set up a table for 2 or for 4 in the middle of the garden, and it's like a celebration. So I want to tell you about our guests, and it's been a process, of course. What we have now is that the foreign visitors have surpassed the national ones that used to be, before it was 70% Peruvian and the rest foreign, and now it's 63% foreign for last year and the projection of this year. And we have these different countries. Although we have families come mainly with teenagers, it is a destination for teenage, like we go from 12 and up, but we welcome families with younger children as well. But it is really a destination for adventure with kids that are older than, like from 8 and above. And so our media is 45 to 75. That's the year, in age. And we work with agencies and DMCs. We organize the itineraries with them, taking into consideration the preferences of what they're looking for. Like, some of them are nature, fully nature. Some others are archaeological. Like, we have a German father and daughter that are coming 14 days, and they just want to do archaeological sites. So it's destination. Of course, the distances can be long between one site and the other, and so we work with agencies mainly, and then we have direct, mainly nationals, or some that come directly to us as well because of the, through the web. So the duration now, it's the favorite is 3 nights, 4 days. And so I've prepared this sample of itinerary for you to imagine how it would be. Arriving day, you arrive in the city of Chachapoyas, which is the picture above. And normally what we do is a presentation in the Huancaurco Canyon, which is in the corner in your left side, because it shows how rugged and how different it is, the canyons and these mountains that are young, as I said before, like they're kind of flat on top, and you can see further in the distance in the heights, no? So that day, the presentation, we do that, and then we drive to our area, which the name of the town is Cocachimba, and it's a 15-minute drive, and we arrive for lunch here in Gocta Natura. And then in the afternoon, normally we have the visit to the refuge of the spatula tail that you can see on your right-hand side. That is the main attraction for bird watchers and even people that are not so specialized, but they it's really beautiful to go and see, to go to the refuge where you can see it for sure, because sometimes it's very hard to see. So that's the first day. The second day would be a visit to Cuelap, that I showed you, the main fortress and citadel. And then a closer one that is Macro, that used to be a ceremonial site. So it's a complementary full day excursion. The day two can be a visit to the sarcophagi of Carajilla. And while you are in that side of the river, in that province that's called Lamot, you can do additional activities to complete your full day. For instance, visiting Ilaria, who is the farmer, and it's a leader in her town, because they work with ancestral methods, mainly Quechua, um, to harvest and plant and harvest according to the cycles of the moon. It's a nice activity to go to her, and if she's harvesting her tubers, it's really fun to be with her and help her out. And then in the bottom, you have a stone mill that was recovered by the family of a man that invented a lot of machinery and pieces of work. And this is one of them. It works with the force of the water. And and our flour, which is also from this area, for our breads and bakery, we buy from him. So it is actually a place to visit, but it's also useful because it is commercial. And then the third day, we do staying here. We do the visit early in the morning to the sanctuary of the Cock of the Rocks. You can see anywhere from 10 to 18 birds, females, youngsters, early in the morning. So you leave here with your breakfast, and with your guide takes the horse with the breakfast, in a special bags, weaved, and so you get to there like after an hour and a half of walking, and you just observe and see them get ready for the day. They're very noisy, but it's really beautiful to see them. And this is in the road to the second fall of the waterfall, as you can see, Gocta. So you continue walking. In total, it is 5.5 kilometers each way. And so you get there and you spend some time like that couple over there. With the fall, and you come back. When you come back, normally we offer a tutamono lunch, which is a very wholesome meal after a trek that can be hard. It is moderate to difficult in certain areas. And then you have a free afternoon. So this is the last day. You probably want to rest. And this is what you can do within Gocta Natura, so in our property. Either go to the river and have a bath in the natural ponds that form, or we do reforestation also with grown-ups and kids, bird watching in our forest, like the picture in the middle, or have a massage. Those are additional activities that we offer. And then the next day, you leave. So this is a picture from our main dining area, where you can see the waterfall in one side, and then the mountains that are so beautiful. Are you listening me well?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes?
We're attentive.
Okay. Okay, and then I have some of this is our list of active DMCs, agencies that we work with. And as I was saying, we normally try to get as much information as we can from our clients about the passengers, because sometimes it's really we really aim to get to know as much as we can, so that we can offer a special service that we can, I mean, it's an advantage that we have, that we can do it, and it's really important for us to do it, because the connection with the passenger is really, I wouldn't say strong, but it's beneficial to his experience, or to their experience in this land, to get to know what they want to know, to see, and to improve their expectations, meet their expectations about this beautiful destination, really. And so we work with the agencies, and either they have already the idea of what they want their clients to visit, or they ask for us to help them out and design, make a proposal of a 3-day stay, or 3-night stay, or more. And so what we do with that is that we can, of course, we also accept agencies that come and organize everything. No? That's something we do as well. But when we do the itineraries, it's like projecting our service, the quality of our service all the way during their stay, because we know the guides that we offer, or the cars, or the service that you can find in your car. So if it's going to be a long day, you not only take your lunch box, or but you have additional water and coffee and fruits for the road if it is long. Normally, the distances can be an hour and a half or 2 hours, the farthest. But the roads are sometimes it's a rugged destination with beautiful sights. So it is hard for me to tell you right away how much the cost. So I put
It's okay,
those are
Rocio. Yeah,
referentials.
we understand that
Referential.
they are average, or an example, because you
Yeah.
don't necessarily have fixed prices for the itineraries, and it's great that you're able to be flexible with your itineraries. Do you have another slide, or is that the
No,
last
this
one?
is it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to stop sharing? Because we've got a few questions. Let's find the deja de compartir.
Okay, wait a second.
There we go. Gallery. All right. We've got a few questions, and if anybody wants to show their faces, they can. Hi, Lottie. Nice to see you. So the trails that you have on site, Hannah asked if they can be self-guided, and they can, can't they?
Where? Can you ask again?
The
If
trails that you have on.
any of the trails. Oh yes, no, they can be done by themselves.
Yeah.
We can guide them to begin with, and we have 2 trails inside. One is in a circle, a big circle, 2.5 kilometer. And so you just go through and you find the orchid garden in one piece, and then continue you can sit in benches and just observe, and then come back to the house, to the main area. So it's like self-explanatory. And then there is another one that goes all the way to the river, and that's 4 kilometers. And but it's only one road, so you cannot miss it, no? So
Yeah.
you go straight. Yeah.
But the heights of the falls, you generally need to take a guide. Well, you don't need to, but it's worth it, because
You can do it by themselves, but also it depends on the difficulty that you want to,
yeah,
and that, because you have different ways to approaching the waterfall. You can do to the top, to the first fall. You can come back down that cliff, which is why you have to take a guide, a specialized guide, come with you,
yeah.
because it's kind of hard to come back.
And you
So
want
you
to
can do
see
the first and the second in one trail, but it takes about 15 kilometers. No, it's hard.
It's whether you want a full day hiking or whether you want to see the cock of the rock birds, which I did see, and it was amazing. There was a flock of about 12 of them. So I'm really glad I did stay and go for the 5 a.m. 3 hour walk, which was great. What other lodges in Peru are best paired with Gocta Natura Reserve in a 10-day itinerary? This is a good question. So what would you combine with northern Peru or with Gocta Chachapoyas? I'm thinking more the Tarapoto side, especially for the people looking for the nature
Oh, in
and
this area,
birds.
of course,
Mm.
Tarapoto is a beautiful destination as well. It's mainly nature. It would be the complement nature, and in the way, it's a beautiful highway as well. You go a little bit high, not too much, and there are some reserves specialized for bird watching. So it would be mainly that, but it's
And there are flights
grand,
in and
grand.
out
It's
of Tarapoto with LATAM. So the
exactly.
flights in and out of Chachapoyas are with ATSA, and they're the small 70-seater plane. They only go once a day. So combining it with Tarapoto is also good because you get more options of flying.
Saturdays we have two flights. Saturdays,
On Saturdays
but
you
the
have two
rest,
flights.
yeah.
The other thing is that I think it's a really good add-on to southern Peru because the flight leaves at about 10 a.m. from Lima, and it's only like an hour and a half or something. And it just shows you a different side of the country and it has everything that some people visitors to southern Peru are looking for: archaeology, nature, landscape. The people in Chachapoyas are really warm and friendly. It's a different kind of culture. I think it's a really great add-on. If you're not looking to go to Paracas or Nazca, and you've got 3 more nights, then I think it's great. I would probably not recommend booking your international flights coming back to Lima just because you wouldn't be able to add the ATSA flight onto your international tickets. That would be a bit of advice as well. Sharing information and open email about clients, yeah, that's absolutely fine, Barbara. I mean, yes, Barbara, Rocio, a bit of feedback about filling in forms for clients can get quite complicated for tour operators when there's lots of suppliers. So, I mean, we
Yeah,
can share information. You can come through us. I
yeah,
can
yeah, yeah.
send you Rocio's contact. That's not a problem. Simon Hayes has a question.
Simon, hi.
Um,
Where are you in Brazil? Are you still in
do,
Brazil?
no,
No.
he's
Okay.
in Bristol.
I'm back
Okay.
in
Home of
Bristol,
Senderos.
Rocio. How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you? Nice to see
Nice to
you.
see you. Thanks for. I've been scribbling notes like mad. But yeah, my question, I think I did it ages ago. I've got another one as well. Was best time of year. Is there any
Oh,
time not to come, or is it an all year round destination?
okay. With the climate change, I used to say February or January, not to come, but now it is really spread all over the year. So this year we've received February, March, we've received guests. So normally I would tell you from April to December. That's what I would say. Um, yeah,
And I was typing, but I'll just ask you. When visited, I'm going to show how old I am. I visited in the year 2000, 25 years ago, Chachapoyas, and I don't think I saw any tourists, or certainly very few,
well, that's
even in
another
Limibamba. Yeah, how uncrowded does it feel compared to other bits of Peru?
very, very uncrowded. That's like the
I'm
luxury
glad
that
you
they
said that.
tell
I'm
me.
glad you didn't say it feels crowded. That would have been embarrassing. So
No,
you
no.
really you don't see many people.
No, it's really like a luxury. That's what they tell me. It's a luxury to be in Cuelap, and of course, maybe it would be better if they had more people. But it's really beautiful just to walk around and with few people in the at the distance, and not having to wait in line in long lines to get into the cable car, for instance. No, so it's very very efficient. The cable car, even with people the administration is very good. So that is really an advantage to go and visit and be by yourself and eat your lunchbox in a special place, but in the middle of a citadel. it is really a luxury. Yeah.
And
So it is
locally,
like
it
that.
felt like you were a visitor much more than a tourist, and I really loved that. And I know we all work in tourism, but being treated as a visitor, and it was the warmth of the people is great, and you don't get those big crowds of tourists. You're right. We've got a few more questions. The flight frequency from Lima, we did already say that you've got 7 flights a week, but 2 on Saturdays. So does that mean one of the days doesn't have a flight?
Wednesday.
Okay, that's good to
Mhm.
know. Wednesday does not have a flight, otherwise it's daily with 2 flights on Saturdays. Can the largest cabin have a roll-away bed for families of 5? So that cabin with the mezzanine
We do
level.
that. We do
Yeah.
that. Yes.
Okay. So there's no flight. There's only Lima that goes to Chachapoyas. If you really wanted to do a big 10-day itinerary, I did this. I used to do this when I was a tour leader. You can drive, if you want, from Cacamarca to this part, to the Amazonas, to Lemebamba, and stay there, and then up to Chachapoyas. Those are long, long drives, but
And
some of the best
also,
scenery I've ever
yeah.
seen.
Yeah.
Um,
But that highway has because of the heavy rains that we've had, that highway is not good. And in the same order that what you're saying, starting in Tarapoto and ending here or otherwise is perfect. So you get into the commercial flight to Tarapoto, drive 6 hours, beautiful sites that you can stop, and then stay here in this area and go to Lima from Chachapoyas. That's another option as well.
And Barbara asked if the cable car is working well. Honestly, it felt like we were in a different country when we visited. It was the most efficient, and you were taken on a bus to taken to the station. You were presented your ticket. It's working very, very well. It's a great feat of engineering. You go right over the valley and up the hill, then up the mountain. Yeah, and KLAP is looking great. They've created new paths to get to the site. They've got a one-way system around the site. A lot of it is covered in scaffolding and sheets and whatnot, but most of it is uncovered. The archaeologists are there working away most of the time, and you get that 360-degree view of the Andes around you from KLAP. So yeah, fantastic site to visit. I think that was it for questions. Anyone else got any questions?
I got another one
Yeah.
which you couldn't see, but it was just Rocio. I'm a B Corp bore, as most people know. Can you tell us how important the B Corp process was for you, and if anything what was the most sort of profound aspects of it?
Well, the process of getting it is that what you mean? It is a hard process that
Yeah,
you have to, yeah.
I mean the bits that, the bits that inspired you rather than the bits that depressed you
Oh,
about how
well,
many questions you had to answer.
y- yeah, you know what? I was very pleased to get it, but also it is for me a tool. It's a tool for us because it is very hard to. It's like a proof of what you're saying is the truth. No, you say things about your operation, but this is the proof because you have to stick to it, and that means that in the 3 years from the first certification to the next one, when they either take it away or they grant it again, you have to go through a path, and you're reminded all the time that you have to move on in that direction and learn new methods and do better things so that it is really like you're running against yourself. It's really backing you up, and also you meet other companies that are doing very creative stuff, so you learn from it as well. So I'm really pleased we did it, and it is very good for us. Yes. So I recommend it. Highly recommend it.
It's
Because we're a
fantastic.
group.
It's
It's
so
it's
nice.
like yeah, it's universal.
It's nice to have more and more of our partners in the group as well. There is another question about flights and helicopters. Do you know if Chachapoyas receives helicopters?
I've had private planes come, but I think there was I mean, if they land in the airport, no problem.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But not any place.
No.
Because these people wanted to come in the helicopter or move from one place to the other, like from here to Leimebamba to visit the museum, to be with the archaeologists and stuff, and they left it because they couldn't do it.
Okay. I mean, just flying on that 70-seater flight with that, so we saw Caleb from the flight. We were like, wow, we've got our own vision. Alec? Oh no, Andre. Andre, did you want to ask about the Caleb by cable car at all? Said he wanted to ask, but anyway, it's. We were saying before that it's a very efficient system.
Just to expand on the helicopter question, sorry.
Okay.
What was the issue that the previous clients had? Was that landing zones not working, or
landing zones and having permission to land? But I can get more information about it. So they decided to come in the plane and do specific areas. The visit they have are specific areas that are hard to get and stuff, but they stay only they stay also 3 nights when they come. It's an agency from South Africa, but I can find out what really happened with the helicopter.
Okay, would appreciate that. And then in terms of fixed wing landing, so you mentioned the airport, which is some way away from the accommodation.
50 minutes away by car, a good drive. It's a good drive, 50 minutes.
And
so it's
is there smaller airstrips closer to the location? Do you know?
No.
Okay.
Closer to us?
Yes.
No.
Okay. No. Perfect. Thank you.
But the distances are part of the thing here.
I see.
So, like, for instance, if you go from here to the cable car, it's an hour and a half. From here to Carajilla, that I was mentioning, the sarcophagi, to the main town, it can be 1 hour, but getting to the other place, maybe half an hour more. So your clients have to know that there are things to see in the road, so that you're being interested all the time, but you spend time in the car.
The journey is part of the experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Stuff.
So
You're welcome.
The hiking at Cuelap, I mean, it's the same as quite a few other Inca sites or archaeological sites where the entrances does tend to be quite far away from where the highlight of the site is. With Cuelap, you are dropped off quite close to the entrance of the site, and you do have to go up a hill, but then the walk we took through the forest then takes you to the entrance, and you're passing wild orchids and bromeliads and the most beautiful forest. Now, the walk that you need to take when you leave Cuelap, unfortunately, is quite a long, sunny, dry walk, isn't it, Rocio? It takes you round
in the way
bottom
back, you
of
mean?
the site. Unfortunately,
you can if you're okay with the horses, you can take a horse in your way back, but you have to know that it's not a drive alone horse. Someone pulls you. The owner pulls you. That's the way it is here. And so, but you can do the horse, no problem, in the way back.
Yeah, a lot of people were doing that, but it is definitely something to advise packs to definitely take bottles of water with them and their hats. But it's just the way that they've managed to, the least amount of impact on the area to kind of keep people on those kind of pathways.
Yeah, that's it.
Anything else? Well, as always, we've got Gocta up on our website with all of the necessary information, and we're always here if anyone has any questions. And if you want to be contacted to Rocio directly, I can do that as well. And yeah, all of our resources are there too. So you can click through for any images if you want to put it up on your website. But if that is all, then we'll bid everyone adieu. And I'll send you the follow-up with all the questions and links and recording. And
okay,
everything.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. It's been great.
Thanks so much, Rocio.
Thank you very much, guys.